I want to make another video because the last one I made, I started getting kind of mad, and I put in some swear words in there. I was talking about something that I'd heard Crabby Dog Tricks talking about Homeland Security and how it looks like they're going against us. And I'll have to, I kind of feel that way too. There's the longest word in the dictionary, anti-disestablishmentarianism. Um, it's like that's what Homeland Security is. There, like anti anybody that's disestablishment. So anti-disestablishment. But anyway, um, I don't, I don't, the establishment isn't always right. That's the problem. Um, and sometimes even the leaders will say, "Well, I'm just following protocol." Like Obama could say, "I'm just following protocol." Well, what protocol is that? You know, when you have people that are running monopolies, where it's straight out, everybody can see the monopolies all over the place. You go down the aisle of laundry soap, it's all the same. It's all and even they do it, like they used to sell laundry soap door to door, where they say it's super concentrated and all that. Well, we're getting to be super shyster all the way around, and super predatory. Like now we're almost in 5 wars. I was telling it to somebody. I was telling it to my girlfriend. I was saying, we're almost in 5 wars. She says, "Five? Where do you get five from?" I said, "Well, look, we're already in Iraq. We're in Afghanistan. We're partially into Pakistan now. Now, the Obama administration, they're talking about, or at least I heard somebody saying something about boarding ships from Korea. Like we can just go and just decide to stop a North Korean vessel or something. Yeah, that's an act of war, all right. It would be if somebody stopped one of our ships, wouldn't it? So that's four. And then five is Iran. We've been talking bad about Iran and how, we got to stick up for Israel, and we can't let them have the bomb. And we can have 700 bases overseas. And we're the the only ones to ever use a nuclear bomb. And we got nuclear bombs up the yin. I gotta watch out. I don't want to start. Anyway, but nobody else can even learn how to make a bomb because they just can't do that because they're that's very dangerous of them to do that. Yeah, I'm really surprised that people are even as smart as they are, or it's kind of like, is, are they are they smart or are they stupid? Because I mean, like when I watch the news, I could watch it for an hour, and it's like I didn't watch anything. It's like nobody said a thing. Nobody said anything to me about news. You know, nobody said anything to me about the price of oil. The price of China. Nobody said anything about the uh, the fact that we might be in 5 countries. You know, 5 wars if we're not careful. No, no, they don't talk about the dollar and the unemployment and how things are really going. Um, so there isn't really news, and so I'm surprised. That's why I said I don't know about other people, but how can they watch it for an hour and what do they get out of it? Because I sure don't get anything out of it. And um, I in my last video, I started losing my temper because I was talking about Dick Cheney and how I think he murdered that prostitute, how he had her murdered, and he's like thinking he was really something, and to me he was in the office for 30 years and he was protected, and they don't care about what oil costs when they can get in their SUV and somebody drives them around, and you know uh, but there was that movie with Costner called The Postman, and I really could relate to that because I like the last 30 years I did a lot of traveling around. I didn't deliver any mail all around, but I traveled around like he was traveling around, you know, and at the end of that movie, there was a part where all the townspeople got together against all those soldiers that they were, and it was like the families were getting stronger again. They were getting stronger. But you know, the soldiers would come and they kept plundering them. Every time they tried to get ahead, the soldiers would come back and plunder them some more. But the postmen would come and try to encourage them, try to and get them to go back and nurture each other. And you know, they would nurture each other, and where the soldiers would just go and plunder. And that's what our country has become, more of a plundering. Where we got 700 bases, and instead of worrying about nurturing, we're more into, you know, this imperialist where we got to know everybody's business, everybody in this country's business. You know, that's the highwayman. You know, to get spy on everybody, put cameras up all over. You know, worry about everybody's business instead of just making sure that, you know, people are taken care of, and that there's real jobs out there, and that we do have real sovereignty, and that people do speak one language and not 10 different languages, or you know, have other nationalists come into this country that are actually kind of almost pushing our nationality away. There's some areas where you can't even get a job almost unless you are of a different nationality, and that really sucks. I mean, that sucks big time. I'm in a neighborhood where it's you almost have to be a different nationality to get a job here, because that's how bad it is. You can't, you know, there's very few even white males in this whole area. Anyway, um, so I was real mad about Dick Cheney. You know, I think he's a murderer and a thug, and he's kind of what I think our whole nation has become, just a bunch of real greedy, like old murderous, lazy people that think they're really smart, but they really aren't smart at all. They're just murderous thugs. And so I think Obama's just being like another Dick Cheney, just a fascist, going to be an old fart, just like Cheney is, an old fascist, dirty old fart of a man, you know, if he keeps going on the way he is. And so I would take a prostitute over a traitor and a murderer and a thief, and then I, you know, any day, that, you know. So anyway, uh, that's all I want to say. I want to say this before I don't want to say anything where I'm really gonna lose it. But every time I see the price of gas go up, and I see all these people that are employed that can barely even speak English, and I don't even have a job right now, and I've seen all these people that can barely even speak English, and they got jobs out that, you know, it just really bothers me. Thanks.